Malam Bapak Ibu semuanya apa kabar? Dan mudah-mudahan bagi Bapak Ibu yang sudah lagi puasa dan sudah membuka puasa. Dan terima kasih untuk kehadirannya malam hari ini. Dan malam hari ini tentunya sudah ada dua orang kedatangan tamu yang sangat luar biasa yang akan bercerita mengenai pengalaman mereka sebagai seorang entrepreneurship. Ya, dan they are here already. We would like to welcome Olivia Li from Taiwan, and also we have David Chiew from Singapore. So we are excited they will be here to share about their journey about entrepreneurship. So, and then I'm sure this is like everybody want to know about your background. Maybe we can start from Olivia, please.
Yes, absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Yanti, for hosting and having me tonight. And it's definitely a great honor to meet everyone, even though we don't see you, but we see you, right? And definitely sharing the stage with David. So my background, I'm actually from New York and currently tuning in from Taiwan. So my background used to be in financial services, and I was the typical first generation immigrant to the United States. And I
Mm,
was taught if I study hard, get a good
okay.
job, settle for life, right? So when I graduated from Columbia University, I found myself a six-figure income job, working in Wall Street, right?
Wow.
Glamorous.
Six digit, 6 digit loh
Yes,
Bapak Ibu, gila loh. Ya, Wall Street loh Bapak Ibu, gila ya. Oke, six
yeah.
digit. Wow.
Right? Everything sounds pretty glamorous, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
I was that was it. I thought I secured myself, I thought I had everything taken care of. But little did I know when I start working, I quickly realized that I was really just trading time for money. And
Mhm.
the day I stopped working, I will not make a single dime. So it was really just making temporary income. Right. So I
Wow.
started to feel very insecure. I don't have any control over my financial future. Right.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anybody that can say that there's a job security anymore. Right. There's only
Yeah.
two kinds of people:
Mhm.
people who don't have a job, people who don't have a job security. So I've really seen a lot of corporate politics, insecurity, and I
Yeah.
wanted to have more control in life, right? That's what the bottom line is. So I was very grateful that my mother, Miss Min Liu, who is a very successful franchise owner with Shop.com, Market America, introduced me to this business. And I actually underestimated the power of this business. And I thought I did not need it. I thought I had, I knew it all. Maybe some people can relate to that. But I'm so thankful that she didn't give up on me and invited me to a corporate major convention in our headquarters, Greensboro, North Carolina. And that was the game changer. The rest was really history.
Mhm.
I was able to partner up with the business and gained a lot of personal growth as a young entrepreneur. And I was able to uh, donate my job from Wall
Mhm.
Street at a young age of 23, and I never ever had to work for a job or a position. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really, really grateful to have this kind of independence financially and also time-wise to really be a present family member. So.
That's a great, the story and the background. Ya, bayangin aja 6 digit loh Bapak Ibu ya. Dia akhirnya kenapa kita kalau misalnya office tuh banyak politik office ya Bapak Ibu ya. Tapi akhirnya saat ini dia sudah menjadi entrepreneur. Oke, how about you, David?
Hi, good evening, everybody in Indonesia. Good evening, Yanti. Thanks for inviting me for this
Well,
Zoom session
yeah.
sharing. Now, I was in the military career for 31 years,
Oh,
and
31
like
years military.
31 years, yeah, yeah,
Wow. 3 decades.
and yeah, 3 decades almost, yeah, and like everybody in the military, once they retire, they will always be looking for a job in the government ministry, and that was where I was headed. And unfortunately, my wife stopped me, and she
Your
didn't like.
wife stopped you?
Yeah, my wife stopped me. She didn't
Okay.
like. She didn't like the long hours, and she didn't like the people who, gave me orders,
Mm-hmm.
the senior people, the really senior people who giving me orders, and I have to, go and work very, very long hours. So she actually introduced me to marketsingaporeshop.com.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in time, I wasn't really interested. In fact, I was very critical of the business. All right. But
Okay.
luckily, thanks to my wife, she saw something in this business. I don't know what it is that women can see. What she did was she registered me into the business. She took my credit card, she registered me into the business. And all I noticed was that I was using a different shampoo, using a
Mm-hmm.
different shower gel, using different products. But to me, I was in the military. I didn't notice. I
Yeah.
just used them.
I,
And lo and behold, when I retired, I was about to um, get into a ministry. In fact, I passed the interview. I had
oh.
3 interviews and I passed. I was going to be an assistant director in one of the government ministries. And then my wife said, you know, you are already in a business, you know that. Why
Uh-huh.
don't you go and take a look? So, following my senior partner's advice, she pushed me a ticket to Market America
Mm-hmm.
International Convention. So I went to Greensboro, and like they say, a ticket to a convention can change your life. So I went and really, uh, I saw JR there and I saw the corporate team. First
Mm-hmm.
time I really hear in that 3 days, I really heard about the business. And, it was a magical moment for me, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I came back. I told myself, well, I should be doing this business. All right. But
Mm.
at the same time, I realized that, networking, having a lot of social circles is important. So I continued to do part-time consultancy work,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I also ran this business. So I'm somebody who is doing um two main things. The main thing is shop.com. The minor thing, the trivial thing is my consultancy work. Yeah, that's my background. Thank you.
Oh, so I can say both of you find your magic moments in a convention. Okay, let's talk about it later on. Okay, next question to Olivia. This is the questions like maybe everybody will be asking.
Hmm.
Well, you have like a stable, can say high income with a professional background, and then you decided to venture into uncertain realm of entrepreneurship. Is it a huge risk?
That's actually a great question. I think, everyone who has achieved something in their career, in their background, or worked very hard for something, always thinks is it risky to make a change? But I'm not sure if everybody has thought about this. A lot of times we are defaulted into the 45-year plan where we called the working life, and
Mhm.
we never really had a choice to decide what we wanted to do rather than what we should do. So I actually, the reason I actually looked into this business, number one, because like I said, I felt insecure about
Mm.
not having control for the rest of my life, right?
Okay.
I've seen how my senior management, like the COO, the CFO,
Mhm.
who I report directly to, they actually were my goal in the finance career. They were young, smart, successful. They bought a house at before
Mm.
the age of 30 in Greenwich, Connecticut. If you know about the area, it's very expensive. So they were the so-called climb the corporate ladder. They
Yeah.
were the superheroes. So I looked up to them. They were my
Mhm.
goals. But guess what? They were good, right?
Yeah.
But they still could not control their life, their career. So
Mhm.
there was a corporate change, and the senior management CEO was replaced. Guess what? The CFO, the COO were all replaced. So
Oh.
that was a big wake-up call for me. There's no such thing as risky of venturing into something that
Yeah.
can potentially change your life. And you got to do your due diligence, of course, right? So, that's why, I asked myself, what's really more risky? Leaving my future to somebody else's hand in the
Mhm.
corporate America or the
Mhm.
market? Guess what? When Lehman Brothers, or BlackRock, a lot of company fire so many people during the financial downturn, no choice, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I asked myself, what's more risky? And Market America, on the other hand, offered an opportunity to start on a part-time basis. I simply asked myself, I may not know how to make money yet, but I sure know how to spend money. And this is a business where you can convert your spending into earning. So I said, hey, does everybody love spending? And is everyone going to continue to spend residual spending? And I better learn how to make residual income to support that residual spending. So if you really put this content, the concept of this business in perspective, it makes a lot of sense, right? And of course, what really made the deal for me was going to the major convention. So like David said, when I saw the corporate team, when I saw the passion of our CEO, JR, when I saw this company was all about innovation, all about, leading and building people up, that's what truly, inspired me. And that what if question popped up. What if I could leverage my part-time 8 to 15 hours per week? And yet I'm working 8 to 15 hours per
Per,
day
per
for
day.
somebody else's success, So I asked
Yeah,
myself, am I willing to do 8 to 15 hours per
yeah, yeah.
week for my own future and financial success? And after I've evaluated the company, went to the corporate convention, the answer was very obvious. This is a company worth following, and it's a company that will always bring us the dream. It's a vehicle to get to your dreams. You just got to be willing to work the system. So then I jumped into follow the system on a part-time basis. And when the business can replace my income from finance, I had a choice, right? I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
donate the job, walk away, and truly enjoy what I love to do. So, yeah, that's basically what made me
Wow.
venture into entrepreneurship.
Wow. So can say when you lived into the entrepreneurship, you do as a part-time business first.
Yes.
Wow.
And a lot of people might say, I don't have time, right?
Yeah.
I said
Because
the
you work
same
8
thing.
to 15 hours per day. How?
Yes.
How?
And
How?
because to be honest, I have to get into the office before 6 or 7 a.m. And the funny thing is in Wall Street, doesn't matter what time you go into the office, there's always someone who goes there before you. So guess what? Next day you arrive earlier, right? And then I don't get home until 9, 10, 11 p.m. Sometimes you have to take all your, toothbrush, everything into the office. And to be honest, I may make high income, but when
Yeah.
you actually divide it by hours, and I was paying high tax, 48%, everything, on my income, I pay tax.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes no sense to me. That I was working myself, right? All that hours. So part-time, no time. But guess what? This business is a very lifestyle business. You're really just going out and about and sharing something that you love, sharing about the stuff that you use, things that got me healthier, solved a lot of my health challenges. Even though I was young, I was not having optimal health, right? Because of the stress and the lifestyle. So it helped me become healthier digestive wise, skin wise, everything. So, and people started asking me, what did I use? What did I do? And guess what?
Yeah.
The business was natural, right? So every day I just share something I love. And then people ask me, how were you able to achieve that? And hey, we're sharing a gift. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah.
That's good. Jadi Bapak Ibu tidak ada kata tidak punya waktu seorang Olivia Li yang bekerja dari hampir 15 jam setiap hari ya, dia juga bisa melakukan bisnis part-time. So I told them about you like don't say that you don't have time to do the part-time job. You have to work like 8 to 15 hours, but you still have time to do the business. Wow. That's great. That's great. Okay. Maybe I go to David. Yes, yeah. You're making a big leap, from military office work to entrepreneurships. So that's awesome. So what's motivate such a major change after over 3 decades? So I can imagine that you have equipping yourself with a strong work ethics and strategy planning skill. So how do you prepare the economy shifted that
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that I'm an accidental entrepreneur because I never was looking for something like that. It was my wife who introduced this concept and this idea to me. And for me, all this while I was looking for another career in
Mm-hmm.
after the military,
Mm-hmm.
right? And yes, it's true that in the senior leadership in the military, I have certain skills. I
Yep.
have certain skill sets, leading men and all that. But you know, coming into shop.com, Market America, you have to have a different set of skill set, a different set of leaderships. You cannot
Mm.
give orders to the people and then you expect people to follow your orders. It's different.
Yep.
Here in our business, we focus on relationships, building
Mm-hmm.
strong relationships,
Yeah.
and of course there's teamwork. There's teamwork involved, and that's the good part I like about the business because in the military we also depend a lot on teamwork, coordinations, and all that. So this team working in our business fits just nicely into my mold, my
Mm-hmm.
character mold,
Yep. Yep.
and
Mm.
funny thing is that after I came into shop.com,
Yeah.
I started to look at the people who left the military. What were they
Mm-hmm.
doing? Were they in business or did they go into same like everybody else went to get another job somewhere? And
Mm-hmm.
suddenly I found myself uh, admiring and respecting the people who actually went into business. It may
Uh-huh.
not be shop.com business, but I really, really think that entrepreneurship is something um, that requires a lot of courage.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
if your dream is big enough, if your dream is big enough, okay, you will have the courage to take that step. So yeah, so going into entrepreneurship was accidental, and I don't think I have any regrets doing this business because I can tell you in this world right now, you can hardly find any other business like that. All right.
Mm. How because you don't have a background about the entrepreneurship, right? So where how you learn
Oh,
about that?
okay. How I learned is very simple. I had to go to the school of hard knocks as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very self-opinionated in the first place when I started the business. So it was actually, as I mentioned earlier to you, I
Mm-hmm.
went through many, many GMTSS events and trainings. In fact, I've been to every country for conventions with
Mm-hmm.
the exception of Hong Kong.
Oh,
Okay. And
okay.
with the exception of Hong Kong. So,
Mm.
you know, slowly through these trainings, you realize that entrepreneurship in
Mm.
the business that we have today in shop.com Market America can actually be learned. There is a
Mm-hmm.
system. There is a system for you to follow. There is a blueprint for you to
Mm-hmm.
copy. All right. So you don't really have to, come into the business and start, with all kinds of past experiences and past knowledge that you've learned trying to
Mm-hmm.
apply. So I think the training that's provided and the mentoring by all your senior partners, all right, and everybody else who seem to be willing to help you.
Oh,
Really,
okay.
it's
Never learn.
unfounded. You can't find this. You can't find this kind of atmosphere, this kind of environment where uh, people are more willing to help you than to compete or and to push you away.
That's
So it's
interesting.
really, yeah. So the environment of this entrepreneurial business, this shop.com business is very different, right? So um I find I'm at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I go out, I go to training, I go to convention, I go to seminars. I feel that I'm at home, and
Mm-hmm.
people are there for you all the time. Right. So this
Mm-hmm.
this kind of atmosphere, this kind of environment cannot be duplicated, cannot be created
Mm-hmm.
instantly, right? It needs a special kind of special people.
Yeah, yeah.
You really need special people to light the fire. So that's why um I look at it as this business as um meeting family,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very dear to me. All right.
Yeah, I agree because some of the businesses always compete each other. Yeah,
Exactly.
even though like they say, oh, I will be all right, but somehow that they just have a hidden agenda from you.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting. So how about you, Olivia? Because like you compel you for your entrepreneurship, you compel to choose like a market americashop.coms. And like, can tell us a little what is a unique opportunity that you see from this business?
That's a
The
great
value,
question.
yeah, the value.
Yes. When you actually understand the plan, our
Mm-hmm.
MPCP,
Mm-hmm.
it's brilliant, right? We always say, the plan is perfect. Because like David also mentioned about the teamwork, because this business, we don't need a perfect individual. I'm not perfect. I'm not great in everything. Everyone's got their own strength. But because of the compensation plan,
Mm-hmm.
there's only collaboration, no competition in our business. People don't get paid based on position. It
Yes.
only gets paid on your willingness to change and your willingness to learn. And this business offers such even playing field for any average individual. And when I think about average, it's,
Mm-hmm.
no offense to anyone, because I know a lot of people here are very successful, big business owners. But when I think about average, it simply means we don't have that much, extra time. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
that much extra resources. We don't have that much extra money or even sometimes people have money, but they may not have
Mm-hmm.
time. People have time, may not have money. And when we talk about true fortune, it's
Mm-hmm.
really when you have time, the money to spend it, and also the health, right, to spend it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
yeah, and when I look at this business,
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible where it offers you all three. And if you just focus on investing in your health with the amazing products that we have in this business, that's why our slogan mission statement is built on products, then powered by people, right? We
Mm-hmm.
help people become healthier and then wealthier. Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
When you can help people and yourself, the healthier you get, the wealthier you get. And I've seen so many businesses huge, right? And even my relatives or people around me who are huge entrepreneurs in traditional business way,
Mm-hmm.
but they have a lot of loading, right? They have so much obligations, liabilities, and it's great, but where can you find, multi-million dollar business opportunity, but with only penny headache?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's really incredible what we get to do here. And, I've seen how my mother, Miss Liu,
Mm-hmm.
who was able to really be a present family member, she was able to take care of both of my grandparents when they had to do double bypass surgery or had a mini stroke or had to be in the hospital for recovery for 30 days, 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was in the hospital every single minute, every single day with them.
Yes.
During those 30 to 40 days, my mother's income continued to grow in this business. She even jumped another high income level. Okay.
Mm, wow.
So where do you see a growing, something that you build once that will last forever? And
Mhm.
it's a willable income, right?
Yeah.
You can put a price tag on this business. It's a willable income that continues to, will to your second generation.
Mhm.
And I've seen people, my own friends who are huge dentists and doctors in New York, and when they tell me is when my kids grow up, I need to tell them to follow what you do because they don't want they
Yeah.
shouldn't do my difficult lifestyle, right? I mean, I respect them 100% because they're so successful and we need them. However, they also were looking at the hard work they put in, some kids don't want to continue maybe the restaurant business or some of the business. You can't will a certain what's that called occupation or
Mhm.
certain skill sets, but in this business you can will this income, and so it really provides you a stress-free lifestyle. And don't forget, you get paid to stay young and healthy. And I love that concept.
That's great. So it means like money comes to you, not you to
Absolutely.
money.
Exactly.
Wow. So we are going to wrap up this session. Would you mind like share about the advice with the audience, like especially they are considering taking a leap into the entrepreneurships, or they just starting it? Maybe like you can give them the advice, help them to navigating this exciting, the the change journey from.
Yes. Yes. I think honestly, the rather than taking a leap into something new, I see it as a lifestyle business. Whether you know about shop.com or not, you
Mhm.
are already doing it because you're spending money on household stuff, everyday reconsumable goods. So rather than paying and making someone else successful, why not buy from your own? So create your own economy just makes sense to me because you're losing money with all the distribution, profit, with all the advertisement dollars that you pay to other websites, other shopping sites, why not do that for your own? So buy from yourself, number one. I think it makes total sense. And it's really not a leap into something new, also because it's a simple choice, right? You only make a choice to
Mhm.
do this alongside of what you already have. So this complements what you already do rather than competes what you already do. Yes, is it going to take time and effort? Absolutely. It's not a get rich quick kind of thing. It's not a free lunch. You got to work the business. It's a business, right? However, is it worth it? Is it doable? Absolutely. And then you get to do it with a team of people. You get to create true leverage, other people's time, other people's money, and other people's effort. So my true advice is follow the system. Don't try to reinvent your own wheel. Don't try to do it your own way. Follow the system and the results will show. What's the system? It took me a while to understand the system. I was very, very difficult to really I had to learn it the hard way to become coachable. And coachable is not like, oh, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. It's not like, I used to say to my mom, no, no, talk to my hand. I was such a tough cookie. But what I understood is I got to say, yes, mom, yes, senior partners, yes, system. And I got to show it by action. Right? I got to do it by action. So, the experiential learning, follow the system, whether you understand, execute. When you don't understand, execute first, because when you're doing it, you get to learn it by doing. All right. So follow the system when your leader tells you master UFO, chairman
Mhm.
challenge. When your leader tells you to get your tickets to the next three events, you got it, do it. Then you will understand why it makes sense. Don't always remember, no one's gonna take a gun to shoot their own legs in this business
Okay.
because we are truly 100% no level accumulation. So really follow the team tight and follow the system. Get your tickets to each event, and the event will build people up, right? And the people will build the business up. So thank you very much.
Great advice. Wow. Jadi follow the system ya Bapak Ibu ya. Nah, kita akan dengar dari David. Yeah, we are listen hear from David. How about you, David?
Okay, those were great tips, Olivia. And what I can say to all the UFOs who are tuning in tonight is that, you can you can slow down in this business, but you have to pick up pace. And most importantly, never give up this business. Right? And if you are a guest today listening to people in the business, talking about the business for the first time, you probably are one among the thousands of Indonesians that I know looking for an opportunity. All right. So what I can tell you is this, um, from my experience in these years of working this business, it's very, very difficult. It's not easy to find a business like this. There is practically very little risk. You don't need capital,
Yeah.
right? And what Olivia Li has said, there are people and there's a system and the training seminar system to guide you, to help you, quick start, have a quick start in this business. And most importantly, I think, I've always and attending so many seminars and conventions, I've always hear this one simple sentence. All right. The greatest product in our company, in this business, is belief. All
Believe.
right. So if you don't have the belief now, you don't think that, whatever we are saying, hit you in any way,
Yeah.
try to get a ticket, go for a convention. The nearest one is the Southeast Asia Convention, and see for yourself. And that worked for me because that's where I got my belief. Can you imagine somebody who's so critical? All I needed was just that one ticket to attend a convention, and I'm sold. I'm sold on this business. All right. So this is my advice for everybody tuning in tonight.
Oh, thank you. Well, let's give a big hands to our speakers, Olivia and David. Dan mudah-mudahan Bapak Ibu semuanya bisa mendengar inspirasi yang sangat luar biasa dari mereka berdua, bagaimana perjalanan mereka, bagaimana mereka berani memilih langkah menjadi entrepreneurship. Dan mudah-mudahan malam hari ini Bapak Ibu bisa mendengar banyak hal yang bisa membuat Anda untuk berpikir kembali bagaimana untuk memulai entrepreneurship yang Anda. Okay, once again thank you Olivia dan David for your time and wow, powerful sharing, I can say. Wow,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
so much.
having me.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you,
So
Yanti.
thank you. We will see in the next session next month. Yeah, and see you all. Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
Good night.
night.
Bye.